There are several MIDI controllers that promise to make chords easier, from Tame Impala's Orchid to the high chord, which I have and I really like, to just random things that you may find on the internet. And I found one recently that I think is actually pretty good and is actually pretty affordable as well. But before we dive into this MIDI controller, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The controller I'm talking about today is called the Minichord. Now the Minichord may look familiar in the design because it's kind of based off the Omnichord. So the Omnichord obviously packs a lot of stuff into it, and this Minichord doesn't pack as much stuff, but it kind of uses the same design and some of the functionalities of the Omnichord in it. So let's take a look at the Minichord, why it's a little similar to it, and why I think it might be one of the best and most affordable chord-based MIDI controllers for you to get. So the Minichord is going to be able to play 3 different chords. You've got your major, your minor, and then your 7th. Now you can combine some of these chords together by just holding down multiple of those buttons together, and you get those chords. Kind of similar to how the high chord works, but without the joystick and there's less chord options. But it's very similar also in design to how the Tame Impala controller works, the Orchid. So nothing new kind of there. So what really makes this stand out? Well, for me, one of the things that makes it stand out is the strum mode. So on the right hand side of the Minichord, you have the ability to just strum through a chord. You can just move your finger up and down it, or you can also change the plate that's covering it and play individual notes from the chord that you're holding. So this makes it a little bit easier to do some arpeggiated aspects of a chord or to quickly come up with melodies as your chord changes are happening. I think that's super helpful because sometimes when I'm making melodies, I'm really just looking at the chord progression and saying, well, what notes are in this current chord that's being played and how can I tie it together? But if I can just simply hold down the chord progression and play it again, and then just tap on that side and know that those notes are going to be within that chord, that takes a lot of the guesswork or a lot of the thinking out of it. Just knowing, oh, I just play around these notes, it's the same ones that are in the chord, and I think it's going to sound pretty solid, in theory at least. So that's a really basic aspect of just this controller that sets it apart from all the other controllers, is that strum mode. Because you have those powers in the strum mode, not only just to play an arpeggiated chord, but also to take control and play those individual notes if you want to. Now, the Minichord, of course, with the name Mini, it's small, it could probably fit in a jacket pocket pretty easily, and it has about 7 hours of battery life, which is pretty solid, I'd say, for a controller this size. It does have a 3.5 audio jack, and you can do MIDI through a micro USB port. Now, while a micro USB port isn't something that people are really using a lot these days, it's definitely better than nothing. But here's a little bit of the twist on this project. This project is kind of a DIY project. Like, you can buy this kit itself and make it yourself, or you can buy it pre-assembled. So that's pretty solid. If you like being able to solder and do fun things like that and build this controller yourself and maybe put your stickers and things like that on there too, then it might be a fun project for you to take on. But if you just want to buy it and use the controller, it does come in a pre-built package for you. And because it's DIY, it's also open source. So the presets that are on this device, you can plug the device into your computer. You can download some software from GitHub, be able to change some of the sounds, upload new sounds, or change some other aspects of the controller if you'd like to. Now, even though it has a micro USB port, you are able to do MIDI out with this, which I think is really big because being able to plug this straight into my DAW and be able to use all those sounds, the sounds that I already like, that I already know I want to use, it's available to me in this controller. So this controller, what do you think it would cost? Because it's got a lot of features. I already mentioned it's pretty affordable. Well, you can buy it online for about $169, $170 before shipping and taxes. So I think that's pretty solid for what this is. But the main drawbacks, I would say, is that it doesn't have like a huge corporation backing it. Some might think that's a good thing, but if you need support, you're going to be kind of left on your own, and you're not really going to have the best support apart from just strangers on the internet being able to tell you how to fix the issues that you have with this device. Granted, people that I've seen use this controller have been very friendly, very nice, and have put a lot of resources out there for other people that want to use this controller. So you are in a good situation in that aspect until you encounter a problem that no one's ever seen before. Apart from that, updates, you may not be able to see updates for a while. You're kind of going to be relying on the community for that. And we'll have no idea really if there's going to be a second version of this controller that's going to come out, because it's a DIY project. It's a do-it-yourself project. So I have no idea if they'll ever make the switch from micro USB to USB-C. In fact, there might be someone that's working on a mod like that right now, but it's something you kind of have to keep up with and research and do your own work with. You can't just say, I'm going to buy this and then I know everything about it through an owner's manual and I can use it. It's DIY. It's always going to be changing. But the plus side of that is that you can change it and make things about this controller, more of it your own. So I don't see very many downsides from this. It's got a great price, it has good functionality, there's some built-in sounds that are cool, you can change the sounds with relatively little programming knowledge. So as long as you got the time, I think the investment is probably the best one you might make when it comes to a MIDI controller that's going to be able to generate a chord within one button for you. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Minichord is going to be something you're going to pick up? Do you think the idea of this DIY open source project is going to be beneficial? Or would you rather have something like this MIDI controller, but from a corporation that can provide a little bit more support behind the device? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.